Everybody, Hunter, and I just want to let you know that today's video with Richard is really informative. It explains a lot about why Manifold.xyz is, exists, why Manifold Studio is so helpful, and is going to make making contracts, making NFT projects more accessible to more people. I really love the philosophy behind the decisions for each of the steps and each of the panels within Manifold. So really hope everybody enjoys this, and I really hope everybody, if you're considering launching an NFT project or starting your own contract, you check out Manifold Studio first, because I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure you will too. Enjoy the video. What's up, everybody? Hunter here. We're joined with the one and only Richard. How you feeling? You doing good?
Yeah, doing good.
I thought it'd be fun if we literally just walk through how to make use Manifold Studio. Like, let's launch a contract and throw an image or two up there. I've got some beautiful photos from around the Chateau Aurel. I live out in the woods, and we'll see how this goes. So let's just jump into it. First off, Manifold Studio, your latest release, allows for creators to simply launch their own contracts. That means they fully own them. They are in full control. It's not a shared contract like Opensea. And it's pretty simple, as I understand.
Yeah. Have you launched one yet, or is this your first time?
This is my first time.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me log in. I've realized that we are... All right, let's sign in. Okay, cool. So we're logged into Manifold. And I think it's as simple as just start a new contract, correct?
Yeah, that's right. This is all pretty straightforward. So
it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
And so it's as easy as just clicking, what do you want, ERC 721 or 1155? People are probably going to ask what the difference is there and which one they should choose. You want to explain that?
Yeah, so the ERC 721 is a non-fungible token, and it's unique among itself, right? But the difference between, that's the typical standard NFT that people are used to. The ERC 1155 is a fungible version of a non-fungible token, which is kind of interesting. What it means is that you can have different quantities, right? You can think of it like this, right? If you have an edition of, say, like 1,000 pieces you want to mint, right? It might make more sense as an 1155. It's kind of like saying, here's a poster, or a flyer, right? We're going to make 1,000 copies of these for people to have. Whereas, an ERC 721 is more like, this is a unique one-on-one. Maybe there's 2 or 3 of them, but there's only going to be one, and this individual edition matters. The token ID and address matters.
100%. So let me enter a name here. Let's call it. We keep jokingly calling it Chateau Aurel. But I do enjoy it, and let's see here. We'll just do ORR as a token, and then we got to get some ASCII art. That is so true. Let me see here if I can figure out the best ASCII art generator. Let me see here. I think it's this one. Not this one.
Are you looking to get one from text or from an image?
Just from text. So we'll do an isometric one. And it's as simple as coming here, controlling, copying, coming back, and dropping in Aurel. Yeah. Wonderful.
And then you deploy other ASCII art. You still have a bunch of other ASCII art.
Oh, right? You're right.
Yeah. So cancel this. Yeah. And there's also a preview button at the bottom. So select all your ASCII art there. Paste it.
This.
Yeah.
There we go.
Click preview at the bottom.
Gotcha. And so now we know it looks good.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so now we go to deploy testnet.
Yeah. So we always get everyone to deploy a testnet version so that they can test and play around with things. Because, the thing is about Mainnet is once it goes on a blockchain, it's final. So we want to make sure that your ASCII art looks good, that you're happy with the settings, and so we do a test deployment first. It's built into the flow. So
Awesome.
do you have any Ricky ETH?
I should have a couple.
Okay. Yeah.
Always have Rinkeby ETH on hand. And for those who don't know, Rinkeby is the testnet. It's where you can go and for essentially, free, right? Like there's some time involved. You can go get some ETH from the Rinkeby faucet. You can go and test things. All right, something went wrong.
Something went wrong. Please try again. Click on your MetaMask. Let's see.
Rinkeby.
Rinkeby ETH, count one. Oh, I think I know what it is. I don't think you can have that. See the in the chateau, the A.
I knew it. The second I did that, I was like, I bet you that breaks it.
That's not I don't think that's a valid, not a valid Unicode character for deploying contracts.
So. Okay. I'm gonna cut that part out real quick, and we'll start it back. I'll put that in editing. But for those who don't know, I had the A with the what do you call that? The carrot top on top. But you can't have that. So now we know no special characters in the name. You got to keep it vanilla. We'll go back to deploy now, and now it should work. Always fun to find how to break contracts that have been worked on very hard. My apologies, Richard. Oh my gosh. So this is exciting. You guys have been working on this forever. You just launched yesterday. Here we go. We can go ahead and click confirm and go forward with deploying to the testnet.
Yeah, it's interesting because this product has pretty much been in the works since we started Manifold, right? So, the history of kind of how Manifold was formed was that, we worked on project the Mad Jones replicator, and then from there we realized that creators needed their own contract, and so we created the Manifold, creator contract, which is this exact same contract we're deploying. But the thing is, when we first started deploying them with creators, what we would do is we would just manually deploy them, right? So we'd send them the code. They would go on a tool called Remix, which is an online IDE, and they would upload the files. We'd sit on the Zoom call and tell them one by one, click here, click there, upload this file, edit this text, right? And yeah, it was just very manual at that point.
Right.
So from there, we built another tool, which was more kind of similar to this. It was a one-click deployer, right? You put in your token name, your contract symbol, and your ASCII art, and it would deploy it. But there was nothing that tied it all together, right? So it was just literally just deploy contract. From there, we started unifying everything together, right? So deploy testnet, deploy mainnet, have a proper flow for artists, right? It was still pretty technical of how you have to deploy things, and yeah, then we started evolving it to what Manifold Studio is. And another part of that too was that it was just a contract deployer. So Manifold Studio is contract deployer and a minting tool, right? So you can upload your app, you can upload your artwork, preview it on testnet, do a test mint, make sure you're happy with it, and then do the actual mint.
Amazing. Can I refresh here? I think it looks like it's gone through.
Yep. So what's happening now is that the contract has been deployed, right? But it's going to verify the contract, right? So what verify means is it's sending the actual.
Oh, I see. It's updating here on what's happening. Gotcha.
Right, and so that way you can go to the contract and view the functions and see everything, instead of having it just be like random text and characters for the bytecode.
Gotcha. Okay, that's awesome. I love this.
And this is the part where
you were on the call with me actually when I was deploying with West Coast NFT, and it's much more complicated than this. It's not click a button. That was back and forth until 4 a.m. in the morning. We started at like 10 p.m. So like 6 hours straight of, verifying, do this, now do this, now do this, now check this. We found an issue. Now we get this is very click, deploy, review, finalized, upload, you're to market.
Yep. So yeah, if you click on review on Etherscan now.
Oh, review on Etherscan. Here we go.
Yeah, so your contract's been deployed. You click on the contract tab there. Scroll down a bit, and then you'll see your ASCII right there.
Love it.
So yeah, there's the contract. There's all the contract functions.
So for read, there's just the implementation, but there are no write functions right now.
Yeah, click on the write as proxy.
Oh,
so read as proxy and write as proxy.
Here we go.
So one big improvement we made recently, compared to how we were doing it before, is we're now using an immutable proxy. And so to deploy a full-blown contract with all the functions in it, it would normally cost about 0.5 to 0.9 ETH, right? So $2,000 to $3,000, right?
Right.
$4,000, right? And that's a pretty heavy cost for most people, right?
Right.
And so what we did is that we changed the method of deployments. So now it's using an immutable proxy. And so we store reference implementation on the blockchain, and the contracts we deploy reference that contract for functionality.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And so this other contract is essentially allowing you to implement that in one place, but then deploy it almost like a inner hub out to every other contract.
Yeah. There's a few methods that you can do. So one of them is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with what an upgradable proxy is.
Yeah.
So an upgradable proxy is, it's a very similar method, but on the upgradable proxy, whoever owns the proxy, or the base contract for a proxy, can change the underlying implementation. Right. The reason why that's interesting is, one, they can upgrade the logic and function of the contract, but at the same time too, it makes it so that whoever controls that reference implementation has complete control of the underlying implementations. Right. We're using an immutable contract, which means that nobody has control over it, right? So not even us, right? The contract that's been deployed is final.
So my question there is on future, like if there's something you want to add in the future, how do you have to basically create a new contract, but nothing that's been created in the past can utilize that. It's immutable what you had already, correct?
Yeah, it's immutable.
No, it is mutable or immutable?
It's immutable, right? So you cannot change it.
Right.
The way that we can operate for a Manifold contract is that if you want additional functionality or features, right, we have an extension framework, right? And so what you can do is you can create another contract that plugs into this contract and adds additional functionality to it.
Right. I love it.
Which is, it's one of the things that people always ask is, like, what's the difference between a Manifold contract and any other contract? And the answer to that is most other contracts will only allow you to mint very standard things, such as images and video.
Right.
Whereas a Manifold contract, you can offload like interesting business logic and game mechanics into another contract to run like unique and bespoke NFT experiences.
I love that. You guys are going to change the game. You said it to me yesterday. Your plan is to disrupt what we view the standardization of NFTs right now, right? I think we've gotten very boxed in. It's become very cookie cutter. There hasn't been a ton of innovation. You're trying to innovate again.
Yeah, we're just trying to give people the tools they need to create what the blockchain is meant for.
Sure.
Right. So anyway, so your contracts have been deployed in Testnet. And so, there's two options now. We can either do a testament on this contract, or we can deploy a mainnet version of it.
Okay. So where do I go from here? I actually am not sure where to go from here.
Yep. Okay. So, if you're happy with this, there's a button at the very bottom there that says review and finalize.
Okay. So, I mean, like, as far as like functionality, that's all built in, like we just saw in that proxy, in that right to proxy. So as far as like testing a mint, and I haven't uploaded anything either. That testing of a mint is just going to be like a fake, hey, the mint function worked, or?
Yeah. So there's two ways we can do this right now, right? So we can actually do a test mint on that test contract you deployed.
Okay.
Or we can do a full live mint and like actually create an ERC 721.
What would you suggest, since this is kind of a video walking through people how to use Manifold Studio, what it does? Let's maybe do a test mint to show them?
Yeah, you can do that too. Right.
Sure.
So go back to Manifold Studio.
Oh.
And click the back button.
Click this back button.
Right. So there's your contract there. So click on your
Okay.
contract.
Click on it.
Yep. And click Mint New Token.
Oh,
You can
wow.
just drag. Yep. You can just,
Wow,
we
this
have
is sick.
options
I
for
love this.
image, video, audio, and 3D models. So click that button there.
Wonderful. Okay, so I have over here, I have some images. Let's just grab one and drop that in. All right. And we'll just call this one Deer. And we'll just name it Deer Licking Mouth. Great.
All right. Just click Mint to Testnet.
Into Testnet. And we will confirm this. And so you guys are actually still working on like batch upload, all these different other tools. I think I read in your blog post that you released that is all coming.
Yep. So a lot of the features we have are, I mentioned we have this kind of like blockchain or extension frameworks. Oh, there, your token's minted.
There we go. So we can go click on view on testnets.opensea. We'll give it a second.
Yep. So yeah, it's a distributed network, so OpenSea has to pick it up.
Right. Oh, wow. I love this. I also love that I don't have to go to Etherscan to watch what's happening. It's updating right here on the web page on, minting, confirming transaction. It's confirmed, finalized, and then minted. I don't have to look at Etherscan.
Try the OpenSea link again.
Here we go.
So it picked it up. Now it's refreshing the metadata. It refreshes metadata for you automatically. So just in OpenSea's queue. But if you click on the Rarible link, it should appear there.
All right, let me come back here. We'll open on Rarible and Deer, not for sale, Deer Licking Mouth, and I'm not seeing it. There it is. There we go. Amazing.
Yeah, there you go. He's minting. You just deployed your own contract on Testnet and minted on that contract.
I'm a Solidity dev.
Yep.
I also wait. I just realized this. I took these off right before you called. It's not okay to have these calls without the glasses. Sorry. My apologies, Richard. Don't ever let me disrespect you like that again.
All good.
Well, wonderful. So we've just deployed to the testnet a contract, and now we've done a test mint. Wow. All right. We're moving fast. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's really easy. As you can see, it's really, really easy.
It's very easy. What now?
Well, the next step here would be, so here's another cool feature is that, this was minted on Testnet. And so one thing you can do is, you can change things, right? So say you weren't happy with your test mint there, right? So you can just go up there and change like the name, description, or image.
Big dog.
All right.
And
then click update the testnet.
But this is nice, right? Like if I want to upload a 3D model and see how it's going to display on OpenSea and Rarible, I can do that. And maybe the loop's not perfect when it goes up there. Now I can test that and see, and then, it doesn't work. New one. Now I can test again. It's not very hard.
Yeah, you can keep iterating, right?
So let's look. Oh, it already updated. Look at that. Big dog.
There you go, big dog. So a way some creators are actually using this is that they're actually creating dynamic tokens for, they'll mint something and then they'll come back to it later on and be like, hey, I want to change the image at a certain date or time, or after certain events.
Right.
So Slime Sunday is doing this with his tokens. Is that he sold this one piece at Phillips, and the idea is that every time he gets censored, he changes the image to reveal a bit more of the image.
Interesting.
Yeah. So today he got censored, so he went to Manifold Studio. He updated the image.
But so this isn't just on testnet. This is on mainnet as well. If I want to update the name of it, I just go into the contract and update the name.
Yeah. If you wanted to update the name in mainnet, though, it does require a transaction because once we mint something on mainnet, it gets uploaded to Arweave, which is a permanent file storage.
Okay.
And so, to do it, So if you want to update it on mainnet, you have to create a new Arweave link and then update your token metadata on Mainnet.
Awesome. I love this. Great. So we've uploaded an image of a big dog to testnet now. We've shown that you can go back and change and make these iterations. Now what? Now what do we do, Richard?
You want to mint it on Mainnet?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So go back to your contract, and
so this is I'm assuming this is like the gallery of tokens within the contract here.
Yeah. It'll show you all your gallery. It'll show you all your tokens.
Great.
Yeah. So you're going to go back to the contract and click on where it says draft.
Okay.
There you go. So at the very bottom there, click review and finalize.
And so when I deploy this, is it going to deploy with that image I just uploaded?
No, it's just going to play the contract. You have to
deploy the contract.
You have to mint it on Mainnet.
Okay, totally get it. All right, so we're going to hit confirm. This will permanently store your contract on the Ethereum blockchain. The name, the symbol, the type, and ASCII artwork cannot be changed after this. All right, let's do it. We're going to switch networks, come back over to Mainnet. Give it a second here. Checking, compiling contract. We're going to click confirm. Confirm.
Yeah, it's doing its thing.
All right.
How much is it? 0.03. Not bad.
That's not bad. That's cheap.
Yeah, these, like I said, these used to be like 0.6 to 0.9 ETH.
Yeah, and you guys have really lowered the bar. Like I know people who've spent way more than that as well. So let me click confirm.
I see you have 2 transactions there. I think you hit the button twice.
Okay, so let's reject all. Click this. Confirm. And let's do it. Oh, it's even cheaper. Thank you. Now, look at that. 0.029. Under 0.03. All right. And we'll wait for this to confirm. Going to take a second because we're on Mainnet now. Wow, Richard, so far, my initial reactions are this is amazing. Very simple. So easy. Tropo could do it. It's like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Are you smarter than a Tropo?
Yeah, the thing is, we launched this product in October, and then we were happy on waitlist, and we would manually onboard every single person, right? And every single time someone got stuck with something, we'd write it down and go fix it, so that next time around they could do it by themselves, right? Or they would have a snag. And eventually got to the point where we would just like onboard them on a call and just watch them go through, and then see if they could figure it out. And once we got to the point where we're like, okay, everyone started figuring it out, then we decided to open up the waitlist.
I think that's the way to do it, right? Like that's good product discovery, feature discovery, bug testing. It also kind of shows what people don't know, right? Like to you're very smart and you understand how all this stuff flows, but to somebody who's never seen it before, as you can see with me, I have lots of questions, and just being able to walk through it is super helpful. All right, so we're still waiting on this. It's confirming. So it's prepared, deploying contract. It's been deployed. We're just waiting on confirm of the transaction, and it's taking longer than expected. If you already deployed your contract, then click here to verify. Should I click here or no?
Click on your MetaMask.
Okay.
Is this actually deployed? Click on that one there.
Success.
Okay, so that deployed. Yeah. So back to Studio. Confirmed, verifying contract.
Well, we are deployed. I can confirm that.
Yeah, it's deployed. Now we just need to verify the contract. So there you go.
There we go. Okay, we're being a little impatient. We want to do stuff, right? Great. So we're deployed. I just deployed a contract. Wow, that was easy. I'm a Solidity dev, like I said.
So one extra step here is there's a step to set your royalties, right?
Right.
So, royalties are a big part of, the NFT ecosystem. And so what a lot of people, so what you want to do now is you want to set your royalties on the contract itself so that any marketplace that respects royalties will be able to read that data from the contract and then send the royalties to appropriate
And
destination.
this is so important, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you were to deploy a collection on Opensea, that is not your contract, and you set the royalty there, that does not mean that you're going to get that royalty everywhere, correct?
Yeah. So OpenSea has a kind of their separate royalty system, right? And it's not on chain, right? And so how OpenSea works is that they monitor all the sales that goes through their contract.
Yep.
They take the royalties in their percentage, and then they do payouts on intervals to all the creators or to all the contracts or to all of the collections, right? Yeah. So what this does here is it puts the desires of the creator for royalties on the contract itself, and then any other marketplace, such as Rarible, I think like Nifty Gateway also does it too, will read this information and then send the payout directly as part of the sale transaction. Like it's all on chain.
Wow. I'm
yeah.
You keep impressing me. So we'll just set the 10. Like you said, there's a default there. Typical range 5 to 10. I haven't seen anything really outside that range. And so we just click again.
Save.
This is approving admin and revoking admin. What are these?
So what you can do is, as an admin, right, you can allow other people to have access to your contract.
Okay, interesting.
Right, so there are some use cases for that. One of them is maybe your contract has been deployed on your vault, and you want to use, another address that you own as for provenance as the main minting address.
Okay.
Another case would be, say you have a production manager, right, or someone who handles your production.
Sure.
You can approve someone else. You can approve someone else to do like mint and to mint on your contract.
Oh, I love this.
Right?
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah. Another thing too is another use case that we've seen is, some of these brands and organizations will have, a brand contract, but they want to have the mint come from the artists themselves.
Oh, true.
Right. And so what happens is that, so a case of this is, we did a collaboration with Fortune Magazine, right? So Fortune Magazine owned the contract, but they had People Pleaser do the minting, right? So they approved People Pleaser as a minter on the contract. She minted the pieces, so it showed the provenance came from her, right? And then they removed her as an admin from the contract so that, it's Fortune's NFT contract, but minted by People Pleaser.
100%. Dude, I'm loving this.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. Right. So I could technically allow for you to mint a photo in my collection.
Yeah.
I love that.
Or if you're a DAO, right? If you're a DAO, you can allow different photographers to come and mint on your DAO contract.
I love that.
So
I love that.
So click on Save Royalties. Yeah. Ooh, why is that so a little pricey?
A little pricey.
Gas jump up?
Probably. Let's see. Where is gas right now? Why can't I see gas? I don't even know where to look. Wait.
Click on a transaction. Yeah.
Go back to transactions. Click here. Oh wait, we're on rank.
Oh, you're in testnet. That's why.
Let me just get over all that ETH. Oh, am I in testnet? That's why. There we go.
You're in testnet.
There we go. Okay, so gas right now is only 80.
Okay, not too bad.
Got it.
I guess you are writing an address to the blockchain, so it's not like that cheap.
Okay, so not a big deal.
That's all right. That's all right.
We'll confirm that. Yeah, but again, so far very straightforward. I love the features. This is very, very I would say artist focused instead of other stuff that's just like, hey, here you go, here's what you got. This is also very much encouraging collaboration. Like everything I've seen has been, oh, you can work with another person. This isn't by yourself. There's a way to, do this as a DAO or a collective. The royalties, though, my question here is there a way to add multiple royalty members? Oh, I guess so. There is an add button right here.
Yep. So there's two ways you can do this, right? So one of them is adding royalties direct. So what we've just done here is added the base royalties on the contract.
Right.
So that means that every single token that is listed on this contract will have these as the default royalties.
Okay.
But what you can do is you can actually set royalties on a token by token basis.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's not built into this UI here, right? You'd have to actually go to the contract itself to do it.
Okay.
But our contracts are designed for that functionality. And then I also mentioned how we have this kind of like blockchain app extension framework.
Okay.
So one of the ways you can do it too is that you can create an extension and you can have that extension have its own set of royalties.
Right.
So for example, say you and me wanted to do a collab and we wanted to you're on your contract. What you could do is we could deploy an extension contract that represented both you and me and set royalties on that extension, and any tokens minted from that extension on this contract you just deployed will have royalties associated to both of us. But any royalties that you minted on your own would just be still the default royalties that you set here.
Love it. So cool. All right. So that went through. There's a royalty now. I'll just refresh. Well, I can't see. That should have gone through.
Yeah, it went through.
Okay.
So scroll down to the bottom or go back. Yep.
Go back.
Okay. Click confirm. Actually, no, this is already been deployed.
Okay.
So go back. There you go. There's your contract. It's live. So click on it.
The live part?
Or the click on your contract part. I'm not sure. You should be able to click anywhere at this point.
All right. So that takes me here.
So yeah, just click on so go back to the Manifold Studio.
Okay.
And click on Chateau URL. So there's your token. So it's in draft. This token's in draft mode right now. So we're gonna. Do you want to mint this one, or do you want to mint something else?
Yeah, let's mint it.
Okay. So do you want it to be Big Dog, or we should actually get it up to what it should be?
Let's keep it as Big Dog. That's funny, right?
Okay. Okay. So then all you gotta do now is you click on Review and Finalize.
Big Dog licking mouth. Okay, and then so we click Finalize, and then so now we're given two options here: mint to self or airdrop.
Yep. So in this case here, you can mint it to your own wallet, or you can mint it to someone else's wallet.
Love it. Okay. Let's just mint to self. I can't think of anybody who. And so now we're gonna upload to Arweave. Is it Artweave or Arweave?
It's Arweave.
Okay. We'll wait for that to go. And there's no fee with this. It's just uploading the file.
Yeah, it's uploading. We're covering all the fees for now for all the uploading.
Okay.
And another benefit of having your own contract is that you can upload. There's no file limits, right? So we actually built in some artificial file limits for the base version here. But if you need anything more, then I think the current limit is like 500 megabyte files.
Oh wow!
If you need anything more, if you need anything more than that, then you just have to ask us, and we'll just open it up for you.
Wow! Again, this is kind of like you've just taken the straps off of this and made it way more accessible, way more free for artists to create. So uploaded, and so now we have an additional fee here, which is for the minting.
This is the minting fee.
Okay, and so we'll go ahead. And so to get from contract deployment, setting the royalty, and then minting the first piece, what all of this ending up costing like, I don't know, $300, $400?
It was like 120 plus $250.
Yeah. So it's super cheap, like compared to like if I were to do this on Foundation, right, where you actually have to mint that. That would probably be the same, and that's not on your own contract. But now for every additional piece here, it's only going to be $70 to mint them, correct?
Yep. Well, depending on the gas price of the day.
Depending on, all right, so depending on gas
Yeah.
price. But this is very affordable.
Yeah.
And I think some people are gonna ask, Richard, I'm sure of it. Hey, I can go to Opensea and just click create collection mint. I didn't have to pay anything. Why that? And why do I have to pay here?
So the way OpenSea works is that OpenSea actually does something called lazy minting. And so it's actually the buyer. When you first create a token in OpenSea, it's up to the buyer who pays the actual mint fee originally. But some things about the OpenSea contract. So OpenSea uses a shared contract, and it's actually minting 1155s. And being on a shared contract, your token is mixed up with every other token that's been minted on that contract itself, right? So if I want to be like, it's like saying I want to go mint this high quality artwork, right? And I'm going to go to somewhere to create it, and I'm going to go to the Walmart photo lab to like print it off and go ship it to somebody, right? And then at that point now you turn the photo around and there's a big Walmart logo on it, right? That's what's kind of like saying,
Right.
Not saying there's anything bad with the OpenSea shared contract. It does have its purpose for people wanting to experiment and play around with. But what we found is, especially for some of the collectors, is that provenance matters. Where the mint comes from. In this case here, the mint is coming from you. It's coming directly from you.
It's amazing, right? To be able to click and say created by hunterroyal.eth, owned by hunterroyal.eth. It's not some random address name that I've never heard of, and it's not very prevalent in Duocene.
Yeah. So there you go. You minted your first NFT on your contract that you just deployed.
Amazing. I love it. And so to go from here, I mean, look, this is awesome. This is so awesome. To just do it again, I go back to the main, and it's as easy as minting a new token now.
Yeah.
I love it. And for that, it's just, I can click here. I can come over and drag and drop, do the same thing. What do we got here? We got a bird, hawk. The hawk. These are all photos from around my house, Richard. It's a very interesting place. It's like living at the zoo.
So the other thing we didn't go over is if you scroll on the bottom, you can set the OpenSea properties and traits. So scroll down a bit more. There you go. We're on here.
I gotta move. I got a thing covering here. So
you could add property and be like animal, bird if you want.
Oh, okay. So this is awesome. So
property name.
So this is property name. And then I can just put bird. Amazing. And then I could add something like season and put winter. And there we go. So this one will have two properties of, we'll have, is artist a property?
Yeah.
So that's a default property. Okay.
That's it. You can remove it if you want to. But the reason why I put that on there is that there's, in the actual metadata itself, there is no reference to the artist. Right. And so we put it on there so that, potentially in the future, any platform can kind of separate things if needed.
Right.
So.
Amazing. Cool. So we'll just call this hawk. I like the adjective and then animal, right? So we had the big dog. It was a big dog. What do we want to name this one, Richard?
Staring hawk.
What?
Staring hawk.
Staring hawk.
I don't know.
Is it 1 R or 2 R's?
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna go with 1 R. I'm such a and I'm gonna get roasted to hell in the comments on this one for not knowing how to spell, but I'm an engineer, not an English major. It's that simple. Amazing. Okay, so here we go. So, and then we just go and review and finalize and mint to self, and we're done.
Yeah. Or if you want to go back and mint to testnet first and check it out. I
So,
usually recommend minting testnet if you're trying to like play around for the first time.
right. So each of these should be minted to the testnet. If you're trying to be careful, check it over, make sure everything's showing up correctly, no spelling mistakes. I think we can just review, finalize. Let's airdrop this one. Let's do. So can you do ENS, or all of these? I've noticed all of these have been with the placeholder for a contract address.
Yeah, you can't do ENS. You have to actually put the address in there.
So we need to come here and let's go richard.eth. We'll click here. We'll copy FF01C. Does that look right to you?
Yeah, that's right.
We'll click here, and then let's mint it, and then we'll upload it. And so this is a great way for people. If, I guess here's another question: if you're going to do this airdrop, right? Let's say I upload one of those, but I set it's a ERC 721, and then while I was doing that, instead of it only being a supply of one, I set it to like 100. If I do that airdrop, do I have the option to drop it to 100 different people, or is it going to be just one address no matter what?
You should be able to specify multiple addresses.
Okay, that's really cool.
Like if this was an 1155 token, you could also specify multiple addresses for airdropping tokens.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. Yeah. But that's only for 1155, or can do that with ERC 721 as well?
I think you can do it for 721s. I haven't actually double checked.
Okay.
I actually haven't tried that doing an airdrop for a 721, but I've done it for 1155s.
Okay. So we got file uploaded. We're uploading the metadata, and then it's going to check, and then we'll be good to go. And 46, confirm. I mean, again, Richard, I feel like I've said it 1,000 times, and people watching this are probably like, this guy, we get it. He likes it. But this is, I mean, really simple. And for somebody who's done their own contract, worked with people, it's not this simple. This is just, you know, lights out, click and type, and you're done. And you have so much more coming. I know you guys talked about AI and ML being implemented into this, batch upload, a bunch of other stuff. What else can people expect in the near term to be included into Manifold Studio?
Yeah, so you know, some of the things we're talking about too were dynamic NFTs, the creation of that, you know, on-chain NFTs itself. You know, our goal is to create a kind of a blockchain app store built into it so that you can run your own mechanics. You know, we're sort of seeing NFTs go two different directions right now. So on one side you have like, you know, the high art, right? On the other side you have more of, you know, game mechanics, right? And campaigns and marketing and community engagement, right? So we're building tools into Manifold Studio that will allow creators to kind of engage their audiences and communities. You know, on top of that too, another thing is, you know, information about token analytics, right? So you want to know how many collectors have owned your tokens, right? Those are some of the features we can build in. You know, ways to re-engage existing holders, ways to do more innovative drop mechanics, right?
Amazing.
And then, you know, part of the flow at the very end there. So right now we only have two options, which is like mint yourself or mint the airdrop.
Right.
But what we want to do is make it so that you can have add part of the flow, or have part of the flow be like, I want to sell this on, you know, Nifty Gateway. I want to sell this on Foundation. I want to sell this on Super Rare, or you know, Opensea, or even my own platform, right? So it's really just giving creators control over, you know, their tokens, right, and where they want to sell it.
I love that.
Yeah. You know, I always say that. Yeah, there you go.
So easy. Wow. I mean, this is literally lights out. So easy to mint. So easy to do. God, I'm like actually shocked by this. It's just so clean and polished, and we're not used to that in Web 3.0 right now. Is there anything else that we need to go over? I mean, I feel like we've been pretty thorough on this. Set the name, symbol, you know, token type, mainnet, testnet, minting properties, airdrops. What is there anything else that we're missing here?
Yeah. So the only other thing I would tell people to do if they're minting their own tokens, right, is the last step would be, we set royalties on the contract itself.
Right.
The final step is to set royalties on Opensea, because Opensea is kind of the default secondary market.
Okay.
Right. And Opensea doesn't read the contract of royalties yet, but they are planning to do so.
Okay.
So
so for now, what I need to do and what people need to do is when we get off testnet, they need to come here, click on their contract, and then they can actually go up here. If they're on that wallet, click edit, sign in, and then within that collection, you can add your logo, your image, and then way down here at the bottom, there's actually the ability to set your royalty, and you just need to put in a nice little 10%, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and your address too.
Oh yeah, and where you want it to go. Let me not send it to Richard. Richard, as much as I love you, I don't want to send my royalties to you. And that should be good. Although it's gonna make me add an image or anything, so I can do that later. But yeah, that's super easy. And like you said, Opensea at some point is going to read where that comes in. It's automatically updated.
Yeah, the way Opensea works right now is that royalties are on a collection basis.
Yep.
And not entirely on chain. It's kind of half on chain, half off chain.
Right.
But we created the royalty registry project, right? And Opensea has state-of-the-art support for it. And the royalty registry is an interface that lets any marketplace read make a standard call to a contract and figure out what the royalties on that contract are on a token by token basis, right? So once Opensea implements that, then they'll have token by token royalties.
Amazing. Richard, thank you. Congrats. Thank you. This is awesome. So token settings, Etherscan. Okay, yeah. So this is just going here, and then I'm assuming this takes you to your minted tokens. Awesome.
Yeah.
Richard, this is amazing. I feel like we walked through it all. Anything else we're missing? Or are we good?
No, that's it. It's pretty straightforward.
It's so simple. It's so straightforward. Dude, thank you so much for taking an hour of your time to walk through on how to use Manifold Studio, how to upload. We'll get this out, and hopefully I want to see some people minting here, because I know there's so much more to come. And yeah, like I said, Manifold's the blue chip when it comes to minting and who you're working with to put out stuff on the chain right now.
Yeah, we're hoping to stay. At this point now, our whole goal has always been, to enable creative sovereignty for creators, artists and creators. And so, it's just one of the tools we're providing for everyone.
Amazing. I love it. Well, everybody, I'm Hunter. This is Richard, the CEO and founder at Manifold. I'm so glad that
I'm not CEO. I'm just co-founder.
You're not CEO? Okay, well,
we technically don't have a CEO. So
he's the big 3D glasses at Manifold. So in my book, he's a CEO because he wears the glasses. But yeah, dude, thank you so much, and excited to see what comes next.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Hunter.
Thanks, Richard.